1,400 metres. His only win has come over this trip, so Saeed will be hopeful. Perhaps he'll show a bit better this week.
Yeah, I think he'll be fitter. Maybe he wasn't pushed to the absolute extreme last time. And you always want to see. I feel like he's going to be a little sharper this time, especially, and probably a little more forward.
Yeah, 8-1 is quite a dangerous price for a Saeed bin Saror runner. He's a half brother to Real World, who incidentally was paddock schooling earlier on today, and we'll see him in action next week, which is pretty exciting. He's another one likely prepping for a Saudi run. There's William Buick, busy night ahead, of course. 22 runners, I think it is, for the Godolphin team. This is JJ Jumbo. Darren Bunyan, of course, his trainer, had success here a few years ago with Hit the Bid on this turf track. And this is a nice horse. He didn't cost Sultan all that much, 10,500, as you heard, a few years ago. And his one run over this trip was his best. And I'm confident they've got him pretty fit, although Darren did say there's a little bit more to come.
Yeah, and I know those Dundalk races can actually be pretty tough sometimes, especially for the younger horses. I know that race was around a bend, but it wasn't a very flat course, and I feel like that works to his favor as well. They did draw off nicely from the rest of the field that day.
Yeah, I think he'll be up with the pace early on. Marco Gianni having his first ride here, the UK champion apprentice, so best of luck to him. This is Kawano, who we spoke about earlier on. He's not been dealt such a kind draw this time. He's out in 10. I think he had a bit of an issue with the saddle last week, which may not have helped them.
Yeah, and I know there was the mentioning of him being a bit of a daisy cutter that may not be suited to the course here as he would be on an all-weather course. But I'll give him one more shot. I think the breeding's there for him to shorten up nicely.
Yeah, it was a nice winner at Kempton prior to travelling over to Dubai. That was back in September, so you'd think he'd derive a little bit of fitness. There is Sultan, who's matched his Candora to his Silks, which is rather impressive. Frankie Dettori, of course, doesn't need a great deal of introduction. He'll be on board Home City. Frankie on 185 UAE wins. Decent Carnival could see him get the 200 up. But this is Freya Bella. No two ways about it. She hated the dirt last week.
Yes, she had no fun whatsoever during that. And that's not a huge surprise. Being with her breeding, she's just turf on turf. The move back to, a nice short sprint here on the grass should be right up her alley. It's just the class level we're still unsure about.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty soft race last week. Raw won it very well, but I guess they thought they'd found a nice spot for her. This is Silent Speech, trained by that man there on the left, Charlie Appleby, who, as Mikey mentions, a brother to Durandal, who won over course and distance, and to Quintilius and to Ultra. Very well bred is Silent Speech. What at Wolverhampton? It's not shown he's a star so far. This is Freya Bella again, filly. Used to be with Jane Chapelheim. That was actually her first start for Alice last time out. Richie Mullen keeps the ride. And she did tell us when she was on the winning line, Alice, that it was always the plan to come back quickly with both of her. She also runs Mr. Professor later on. This is Hot Pink. I spoke to Ray Dawson about this filly earlier on and said what she likes is she's a tough little thing. I guess the question mark for her is, although she's a three-time winner, her best of her form's on soft.
Yeah, that is a bit of a worry, especially with the wind today. Probably dried up the course just a little bit. That being said, I think she's drawn in the middle, which is probably where you want to be today. And I feel like she will be a serious factor if she runs her best race.
Let's hear from Stephen.
Yeah, I'm joined by Mohammed Mardood of Team Mike de Kock. A few nervous syndicate members ahead of Albion Square running here.
Well, here's a good thing. These are the new syndicates. Golf Racing Club. They have many shares and 3 horses so far. They got Celtic Voyager and they got a share in Magical Land, and today they bought actually Albion Square, and ASSM Racing joined them.
Bueno, bienvenidos a todos. Para los que están mirando en el canal Campeones, yo soy Orana Mañani. estudiante de veterinaria. Y estamos acá con la primera carrera que se va a correr ahora en Maidan, que es el Dubai Trophy Present by Creek Views by Assisi, que es una carrera muy interesante, la verdad. Por eso les quería hacer este vivo, porque me parece que hay caballos muy buenos y aparte que todos corren espectacular. Yo en particular voy con el número 6, Silent Speech, que es un caballo de Godolphin. Y ha tenido muy buenas actuaciones y me parece que podría estar definiendo la carrera. Yo no sé si se ve bien la imagen. Si alguien me puede poner en el chat ahí a ver si anda bien, porque a mí se me tranca en el celular. Pero en la pantalla de la compu la veo bien. Si alguien me dice si se ve bien y eso agradezco. O si hay algún problema o algo, escriban en el chat que yo lo soluciono. Bueno, acá tenemos al número 10, White Plus, que bueno, también es una de las grandes opciones. Por lo menos a mí me gusta este caballo, este 10. Si mal no me equivoco, creo que es un hijo de Acclamation, que es el papá de Memas también, nada más ni nada menos. Uno de los mejores caballos de Europa, que está dando muy buenos hijos como padrillo, anda muy bien. Y bueno, ese número 10 la verdad que estaba con un porte espectacular. Y veremos a ver qué hace hoy en esta carrera. Ojalá por lo menos que entre en el marcador, para mí ya sería mucho. Después, no, White Place es hijo de Memas. Albion Square es hijo de Acclamation. Bueno, veremos a ver qué hace este buen hijo de Memas, que por algo está anotado acá, así que me parece que va a ser una linda carrera. Después como enemigo yo puse a Hernández Hot Pink, que creo que anda en muy buen momento. Y bueno,